team. Good afternoon, everyone. Apologies for the last moment change. Our speaker, Pierre Degojan, we got late notice that he got sick, so I will be presenting today instead of him. My name is Natalia. I am client success and lead technician here in IntelliBoard. I work close with Pierre, so there will be not much difference between our view of the IntelliBoard text. Let me quickly go ahead and share my screen, and this will be my screen. I hope you all can see my screen well now. So today we will have just a quick peek, a quick overview of our IntelliBoard text, our new platform that will allow you to see the new data, how the data can be transformed, and how IntelliBoard can influence your learning outcomes. The idea of IntelliBoard Next is really to take the data to the next level and to ultimately improve your learning outcomes. We are a data company and we are a learning analytics company that first and foremost is focusing on the completion of the courses, success of your students, and making sure that the learning outcomes are met successfully. As you can see here in our script, we have created a quick overview of how IntelliBoard can eventually help you improve learning analytics. And today we will go over all of those steps just to show you how potentially IntelliBoard can be your friend and can help you with your learning outcomes. I will start with the integrations, and this is something you saw previously in our video before the presentation. So as we mentioned in the video, we are currently integrating with all top-level learning management systems. We are also working on expanding our list of multiple LMSs. So if you have anything in addition to your Moodle LMS, know that we will be able to cover you. In addition to learning management system, we are now also integrating with student information system, HR systems, and CRMs. We are also integrating with conferencing tools like Blackboard Collaborate, Big Blue Button, Zoom, and we are also working on Teams integration. So if you guys using Teams, if you're using Zoom, if you're using any other conferencing tools, know that we can have the integration for you and you can combine your LMS data together with your conferencing tools. In case if you have the systems that are not integrated with IntelliBoard, or those are third-party tools that are not yet available in your LMS, or you are using, for example, files or spreadsheets where you are saving, where you are noting your data. So in this case, IntelliBoard have created additional feature called Inform, in which you can bring in data from any third-party tools, and then you can use it and combine it in one report. As the example here through the Inform, you can import data automatically. So you can have CSV or Excel file with the data that does not live on your LMS or any other platforms that you have integrated with IntelliBoard. You can just simply upload it into IntelliBoard and we will store it in our servers. And then it will become your data point that you can add into any report. Similarly, if you have any data points that you are adding manually into your files, for example, or any other platforms, we have ability to create manual Inform tables that are going to allow you to input data directly into IntelliBoard. When you input manually data into IntelliBoard, again, we will transform it into the data point, we will store it, and then you can use this as the entry form where you can add any new information, any new data point into IntelliBoard directly, and then use it as the combination with your reports. As the example for today's presentation, I prepared dashboard, and dashboard is one of the features that we have in our IntelliBoard. So with IntelliBoard, we have ability to create multiple dashboards and multiple reports that you can use for your learning analytics. I will go to our today's dashboard. And then from here, I will go to our learner success and progress report. There we go. And this learner success and progress report is the perfect example of the combination of those different sources that you can combine into one platform. For those of you who already know IntelliBoard, who have experienced our previous platform, this report will be familiar for you. This report is great as it can show you the progress of your users, as well as it can show you your at-risk students. So from here, you can quickly see your students, their course enrollment, their current progress in the course. You can see their progression bar compared to the class average. You can see their grades, and then you can see quick comparison of the activities they have completed. Addition we have in IntelliBoard is page views, time spent, and bus participation. These data points are recorded specifically by IntelliBoard. So IntelliBoard will ping your users for their time spent in the activities. So in this case, for example, we will ping your users every 30 seconds to receive proof of engagement. If after that ping, IntelliBoard does not receive any proof of engagement from the user, we will automatically stop tracking their time in the course, activity, or system. In this way, it allows us to show you only the actual time the user was active and was actually spending time and participating in the platform. Regarding participation, it's also going to be IntelliBoard unique time tracking, as we will be seeking for the actual user engagement and participation in the activity. It can be submission of the activity. It can be quiz completion. It can be anything within LMS that proves that user have actually accessed and engaged with the content of the course or activity or system in general. In addition, in this report, I have added combination of our student information data from Ellucian. And then in addition to this, we can easily add our inform data. And to do this, we can simply go into the settings and we can quickly add the report. And when we add this report, it will bring us into our visual builder. Our visual builder is combining your LMS database tables as well as dynamic tables. So it makes it very easy for us to pull out all unique information from your learning management system into one place. And then you can combine all the data into one report, and you can add additional formulas, calculations, conditional formatting, and other modifiers to your data. So it's no longer going to be just raw data from your LMS. Example from here, we have the columns where you can see information from your learning management system, and you can add any additional information to this report. You can just select the actions or the areas you would want to add. We also have our IntelliBoard unique time tracking tables here. In addition, you will see your student information system. In our case, I have in our demo site Ellucian connected, so I can see all Ellucian data. And when I need to add any information, I just need to select it from here and it will be automatically added to report. In addition, here is the example of how our integration with conferencing tools will look. So when you have the connection with your conferencing tool, it will be also available in your builder. So you can come here and add this data into any report, any dashboard within your IntelliBoard. And also from here, you can also see our inform tables. So here in our demo site, we have brought extracurricular activities and departments into our IntelliBoard account. And then from here, I can just add all this data that I have brought through the inform, and I can add it and combine it with my LMS data. From here, it's a really powerful tool that allows you to add different resources, different data points into one place, and then you can play with it to add different filters, and you are no longer limited to specific filters as in previous platform. You can create and you can build filters based on any data point within your builder. You can create different formats, you can switch columns around, you can change the colors of the columns, you can add conditional formatting, you can add formulas, and you can add calculations. And just to show you an example of the formulas and calculations and how powerful those tools could be, I will go into our next report, which is pacing report. Let's just wait it for a moment. And let me just save it to preview so I can go into that specific report. So with those calculations, what you can do is you can go into your builder, and for example, you can create calculation for something that you expect. For example, in our pacing report, we will see that we have created calculation on how many activities we are expecting students to complete on the daily basis. And we have compared, and let me just go to that report. There we go. So from here, we have added our student information from the LMS. And then from here, we created the calculation for the activities we expect students to complete in this course on daily basis, as well as we have created calculation for what students actually submitting in this course on daily basis. With this information, it will be super easy for you to see if the students are actually following the expectations that you have set, and that's not necessarily have to be activity completion. You can define what data, what expectations you would want to calculate, you would want to add, and then out of those comparison, you can create conditional formatting that can display for you if the user is on pace or off pace. For example, when we have students that are not submitting activities as we are expecting in this course, we can quickly see that this course is off pace. And then for instructor, it's going to be great hint where he needs to go and where he needs to review information on their students, how they're engaging, and maybe they can compare this report where they can see off-pace students with the report we reviewed just above, where they can filter, for example, by the completions of the activities, or when they can filter by the users access to the activities, so they can quickly see who from the students haven't completed activities or haven't accessed the course or activities in general. So this will be really powerful combination of different data points you can add. In addition, not only you can define if your course is off pace or on pace, but you can create similar report, but based on your student information. In this case, we also have report for pacing, but in this case, we have students, we have their expected end date, and this is the formula we have created. This data point does not live in your LMS. So we took the student enrollment to the course and we have added the length of the course that we expect, and then we receive that expected date of the student completion. In addition, in this report, we added few additional calculations, how many days are student enrolled in the course since the start of the course. And we also have the same calculation for the activity expected for completion per day and the actual user completion per day. And then again, based on these information, based on the user completion status, based on the user enrollment into the course, we can then create a conditional formatting that can allow us to see if the student is on pace or off pace. Let me just quickly move it. And then here you can create a conditional format where you can see which of the students are off pace. If you're admin, you can then quickly export this report and you can send it to the instructor saying that these are the list of the students that are at risk, that are off pace in your course, and you need to do further engagement with the students. Or if you're a teacher, it will be really easy for you to find your students who are at risk, and you will know easily who do you need to reach out and whose progress you need to focus on. In addition to all those reports we now have predictive learning analytics. Predictive learning analytics tool, it allows us to analyze the history of your data of your site and then look at the data as the success story. And then out of that success story, we can create the predictions on where we can now review and compare the current user behavior with your historical data. And then based on that historical data and the current behavior of users, we can predict if potentially they are going to be successful in the course or not. In order to create those predictive analytics, you can pre-create report that allows you to build a predictive model. In this case, you can decide whatever is important for you as the success and whatever data you would want to use for your prediction. In our case, in our example, we have the user information and their enrollment into the course. And our main point for creating this specific prediction, we have added their actual grade in the course, their length they've been enrolled in the course, and we have calculated their time spent. We have calculated their visits and participations, as well as the activity in the activities that they are engaging. In this case, it was assignment, quiz, and forum. Again, this is just the example. You can define the success points for yourself and you can use it for your predictive analytics. When we have this report pre-built, we can simply go back into our apps. It will be all the way on the top. And out of that report, you can build that predictive model. So when I click on the predictive models, it will redirect me to the area where I can build that specific prediction. I can train that prediction, and then I can create a report out of that prediction. So this is going to be the area where you can present, you can create your predictive models. Now, when we are going back to the dashboard, I have also selected the example report that we created already out of the predictions that we have previously built on our demo site. And this is something you also can create on your end. So this report is the example of the prediction we have trained and we have received. In this case, we took away the user ID because it's not super nice and easy to read for instructors. I don't think instructors would remember IDs of their students, and that would be more pleasant to see the names of the courses of students. So here we have decided to see only student name, course name. We added the risk prediction based on the predictive analytics that we have received. And then here we see the current progress of the student in the course. We can see their current progress of the completions. We see their grades. We see their time spent visit and participation, as well as their engagement with the activities and resources. And in this specific report, we have added additional information about their teacher and in contact. In contact is our communication tool that allows instructors to enter communications between their students. In this case, it would be useful, and we will go over in contact just in a moment. But in this case, in contact is useful because not only you can see the predictions, not only you can see their engagement with the course, but you can also see the communication, if the communication have happened with your instructor and students. So this number of the in contact is going to show the actual activities, the actual communications that instructor have done with their students. And then out of those prediction, again, we can add a little customization to this column, and we can make it as the conditional formatting, where we can again see those red pills, where we can see if the student is at risk or not. So let me just sort it to show you the example. And then over here, we can see that conditional formatting, where we can see which student is at risk. Out of all of these reports, out of the combination of these different reports, what we can do is we now have the custom notification creator. So for example, when you have this prediction completed, when you have created report out of that prediction that has combination of the at-risk information from the predictive model, when it has user actual engagement with the courses, resources, and it has combination with your student information data or the data that you brought through the inform or your in contact information. And when it all combined in one comprehensive report, you can then build custom notification that can be sent to the end user. For example, and then here we will have notification creator. So for example, if you would want to send that report to the teacher, you can quickly build the report. You could filter that notification with needed data points. And here you could name and you can give description of what this notification is going to tell to the end user. You can select to whom it's going to be sent. Control report is when you select report and you send information to users in that report, in case if you would want to send it to teachers or students. And then here you can select that control report. And for example, I will select our predictive model report. Let me just quickly look for it. There we go. And then when we selected the report, this notification creator will allow us to filter that report with important data points for us. These filters are not limited. You can customize that report with multiple filters for different data points that are important for you to filter it and then create it in the notification and send it to the end user. So this tool is going to be super powerful, and it will allow you to quickly build custom notification and send it to the end user only with the data that is important to them. When we go back, we also have the in contact, and in contact is our communication hub. So we all know that our instructors, they are communicating with students. And for example, if instructors see that student is not successful or student had issues or had difficulties with completing course, and then instructor have done specific actions to help that student, and they have worked on specific steps. They identified what were the issue of the student, and they have defined what are the next steps have to be taken. When all that communication is happening, instructor need to save that conversation somewhere so they know what was discussed, when the discussion happened, and what are the next steps. To make it easier for instructors, we created in Contact. It's our communication hub where instructor can come and they can log the communication they have done with their student. So then we will transform it into the data point, and then instructor can quickly see, for example, if those communications happening, helping their students to be successful, or are those communications are not super helpful and they need to change the way how they communicating to students, or maybe change the strategy how they help their students. In this case, instructor will see all their students. They can filter by courses, they can filter by communication type, they can filter by behavior. This is more common for United States, but this column is customizable, so it's not necessarily has to be behavior. It could be skill set, it could be training programs. You could add any data point you would want to additionally filter the communication of your instructors. And then from here, instructor just quickly can click on plus and he can log the information on what they have discussed with the student. For example, we have sent to the instructor the report or the notification with the prediction, right, that told that the student, Marigan, potentially can be at risk, looking at her current behavior and comparing it with your historical data. In this case, instructor went to the instructor and they had, went to the student and they had conversation about student engagement and student progress in the course. And then they have identified specific steps. For example, discussed the issues that student has with topic, or as the example, right? And then instructor can identify in more details what the conversation was about. In addition, instructor can add the data points from your learning management system. In our case, if a student who's at risk, the great examples of the at risk could be grade, could be their last submission or their last score in the assignment, and you can just quickly select the data point that you would want to add in addition to your conversation. You mark it complete, you click OK, and it automatically creates the communication of the instructor. Yep, I didn't select the communication. So for example, you did the email communication, I can click add, and then it will automatically add the communication I had with my student. When I added this information, IntelliBoard saved it in the backend in our server. And then when I go to my IntelliBoard and when I go to example dashboards we have created for in Contact, and this is something similar you can create for your instructors. An instructor can then quickly come and see how many communications he have done with each of his students in the course, right? He can quickly see which of the students have not received any communications from him. From here, instructor can quickly see how many communications he have done with student and what is their current grade. So in this case, they can have a quick correlation between their number of communication with the student and grade. And if instructor can see that he have done multiple communications, for example, over 10 communications with the students, but their grade is still low, in this case, instructor might think about the strategy, how he's communicating with students, and if the communications, if the information he's providing to his students are actually helping them. In addition, instructors can create for themselves a quick reminder of when is the next communication they need to do with their student. This is the example of the report they can have, where we can see the information about their students, the course where they are involved, when the instructor first time talked to the student, when was the last communication. And then when they add formula, they can add, for example, last contact date plus 14 days for the formula creation, and then they will receive their next contact date. And then again, they can transform it into notification that can be sent to them as the reminder on the day when they need to communicate with their students, and which of the students have to be communicated with. And then also in addition, not only you can add this and create your own data, but you can add um, this data into any report, existing report you will have in your IntelliBoard. As the example here, we have information about the login log details about communications, where we can have information about students. And then not only we can add dates and specific information about communication, but we can also add the actual conversation that instructor had with the student. So this could be something helpful for instructor when they need to quickly see, okay, what was the last communication with my student and what was the last discussion we had with them? And then they can quickly see it under discussion column. So in nutshell, it's just very quick and very brief overview of IntelliBoard Next. We have a lot of features coming up that are going to be super excited to share with you guys. We also have ability to synchronize your users from LMS. So whomever within your organization needs to see specific data points, for example, teachers, for example, instructors, or for example, course creators, you can create data points or dashboards that can be available only for them. And then you can quickly synchronize them from your LMS. So their LMS permissions will be automatically picked up by IntelliBoard. And then, for example, they can see something like this, or if we have instructor dashboard, that is default example for your instructors, where they can quickly see the progress of their students in the courses. For example, they can see the news grading, which of their courses has submissions of their students. When they see the number of submissions, they can either go into details and they can see the detailed list of the students who have submitted activities in the particular course. The way we do it is we can now link all data points together, and then when you click on one area in the report, it will automatically update the rest of the reports. Again, example here is not only seeing who from the students have submitted what activities under details, but also when I clicked on the course, it updated course grade distribution, where I can now see the grade progress of my students. And then if I see that I have tons of students who have low grades in their course, I can go again into details and I can then see the list of the students, for example, who have grade D. We can also create the correlation of student time spent and grade inside the course. And we can also create the quick correlation, and example of this data is going to be time spent and page views of the students in the activity types, activity resources you are adding into your course. And again, each of these monitors can have its own details button where you can go and see in details each student, their time spent, their page views, their engagement and participation with the activity resources in the course. Similar data points, similar dashboards can be created for students where they can see their own progress in the courses and they know what their next steps are. And you can also create for them the conditional notifications that can be sent to them, for example, saying you haven't been active in your course for 7 days, you need to re-engage. Or for example, your activity grade was not submitted, and it can be some sort of reminder for them that they have activity to submit based on the due date. So IntelliBoard can give you the flexibility with all those data points, all the data combinations within your platform, and you can just nicely and easy combine it into one report that can be customized and can be shared with different roles and with the data permissions that they need. This is just quick overview, and definitely we have a lot to talk in IntelliBoard Next. So if you are interested, know that we have dedicated webinars, not only to general overview of IntelliBoard Next, but we also have detailed webinars about each feature of the IntelliBoard, like builder functionality, like inform, in contact, conditional notifications, as well as predictive analytics. So if you would want to have one-on-one call, you can reach out to us to help us, and my colleagues are going to drop links into the chat box. So if you would want to have dedicated one-on-one demo, you can reach out to your LMS provider, or you can reach out to us at helpdesk@intelliboard.net, and we will be most happy to loop with you, your LMS provider, and give you a quick overview of IntelliBoard, and then talk about your needs, talk about your solutions and your expectations. Or if you would want to see just more about of IntelliBoard before you have one-on-one call, you can always register to our webinars. You can join us at any time, even if the webinar is interesting, but it's not in your time zone. Don't worry, you can still register, and we will send you the recording of that webinar. So again, feel free to register for webinars, reach out to us at helpdesk@intelliboard.net or to your LMS provider, and we will be most happy to help you with any questions and provide you with the demo specifically based on your needs. Any questions we have today, we can answer during today's presentation?
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Natalia Dovan, for that presentation. At this point, we will be entertaining questions from our audience. So for those on Zoom, YouTube, Facebook, if you have questions, please feel free to post them.
Yep. And then if you don't have questions right now, no worries. We have helpdesk@intelliboard.net. So feel free to drop your questions there, and we will be also happy to help you.
Yeah, so kindly send a message to helpdesk@intelliboard.net. Or you can also try helpdesk or intelliboard.net/events. All right, I believe there are no questions on our platforms. Thank you very much, Ma'am Natalia, for taking time to present in this year's conference. Please also extend our gratitude to IntelliBoard for being our gold sponsor and partner in making this event possible. Once again, a round of applause for Ms. Natalia Dovan.
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.